Are you someone who thinks about food all the time? You've been on a ton of faddy diets to the point where you're completely obsessing about good or bad food. You've counted calories, you've weighed out your food, you've been on a ton of celebrity diets, you've been on, you've been off, and you are fed up. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why diets don't work, and I'll give you some mindset shifts to end the yo-yo dieting forever. I'm Lara, psychologist and wellness coach, and I can help you transform your mindset so that you can break free from dieting and learn to love your body. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell to be notified every single time I post a new video. Diets don't work. So many of them fail, and the average woman spends 17 years of her life on a diet. That statistic alone should tell you that you have been let down by the diet industry. My clients are always so amazed at how much of health is to do with their mindset, and once they break free from dieting, they can stop focusing on their weight and actually start focusing on their health instead. And side note here, if you're interested in understanding the mindset shifts to break free from dieting and learn to love your body, then you can download my free ebook. It looks like this, and it's in the links below. Okay, so what do I mean when I talk about yo-yo dieting? This is when you do a crash diet, you lose a little bit of weight, you go back to eating normally, you gain your weight, you get frustrated, you start another crash diet again, you lose some weight, you start eating normally again, and then you gain your weight again. And you may do this cycle over and over and over again, but now you're feeling frustrated and hopeless and just at the end of your tether with the diet industry. Does this sound familiar to you? Are you someone who's been on multiple diets? If so, drop me a hell yes in the comments below. And let me tell you, I have been there too. I spent many years of my life on countless different diets, celebrity diets, the Atkins diet, low fat, low carb, juice diets, all sorts of ridiculous diets. Needless to say, I spent years yo-yo dieting, my weight fluctuating, going on different diets, and creating a very negative relationship with food. If you've experienced the same, drop me a hell yes in the comments below. Okay, so let's dive into diets. What's the problem with them? Number one, diets have a very high failure rate. So the actual percentage failure rate is really debated in the literature. So some authors say it's about 95%. Others say actually it's not so high, maybe about 70%. But it is agreed diets don't work for most people. A very interesting piece of research was done by some academics at UCLA, and they examined 31 long-term diet studies. And what they found is that within the first 6 months, generally people lost between about 5 and 10% of their body weight. But if you examined 5 years on, the vast majority of people had put the weight back on, and not only that, some of them were even heavier than when they started out. In fact, the authors suggest that the biggest predictor of weight gain is going on a diet. Number two, diets set you up for failure because the diet concept is flawed. As soon as you're on a diet, the mindset is all about deprivation. I can't have this, I need to restrict myself on that, I mustn't have too much of this. How different would it be if the mindset was, I can have this, but actually I don't want it? The focus on what you can't have is problematic. It's a bit like saying, don't think about a pink elephant. The first thing you think about is a pink elephant. So that restriction actually sets you up for failure. Number three, diets aren't sustainable. Most diets ask you to restrict yourself in some sense, either restrict your calories or restrict some element of food, whether that's fats or carbohydrates or proteins. And that kind of restriction in the long run isn't sustainable. So what people do is they go on a crash diet. People say, well, I can do that for 2 weeks or I can do it for 3 weeks. But most people can't do it in the long run. So they're not implementing long-term sustainable healthy eating habits. They are restricting themselves for a limited period of time, and then they just go back to normal. And finally, diets can actually make your health worse. Now, in that study I mentioned earlier, the UCLA study, those academics actually found that yo-yo dieting over those 5 years were linked to really negative health outcomes like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, stroke, and issues with your immune function. Okay, so what can we do instead? So the first thing you can do is give yourself unconditional permission to eat. So this might sound a little bit crazy if you are used to those restrictive diets. And I remember when I went through this process, giving myself unconditional permission to eat was allowing myself a piece of toast with peanut butter and jam. Crazy, huh? As soon as I allowed myself that, I had it every morning for a few weeks, and then I was like, this morning I don't want it. And that's what you do by allowing yourself to have that food and giving yourself unconditional permission to eat. What you're able to do, and this takes time, let me tell you, this takes time, you allow yourself to start connecting with your body, and you allow yourself to start understanding a little bit more about why you're eating, how you're eating. Are you wolfing the food down? With restrictive diets, you're creating the setup for more binging, actually. So you restrict yourself and then you binge. If you give yourself unconditional permission to eat, you think, oh, I fancy that food, I'm going to let myself have it. You allow yourself to eat it. And then you can start practicing a little bit of mindful eating. Eating it. How does this make me feel? Does this make me feel good, or does it make me feel worse? And if you can start to tune in to your body, then over time, those restricted foods just don't hold the appeal anymore. We put these bad foods up on a pedestal, and it's a bit like a forbidden fruit. We just want it more. So unconditional permission to eat anything takes that temptation away. Second tip is to accept your body, where we totally accept and even love our bodies. Now, this is a journey, so be prepared to be working on this for a while. But what you want to do as a very first step is find one part of your body that you like. Maybe it's the colour of your eyes, or the length of your eyelashes, or your fingernails, or your hair, or your lips. Whatever it is, you want to start focusing on your gratitude and your love for that part of your body. Number 3 is forgiveness. Now, forgiveness might seem like a funny thing to be talking about in terms of ending yo-yo dieting. Forgiveness can take away a lot of the stress and negative mindset around yo-yo dieting. And forgiveness really is the ultimate tool for decluttering your mindset. Releasing situations that have happened to you in the past can really help you move forward. What I want you to do is a little exercise now. I would like you to write down 20 memories that you have about your weight. So it could be from really young, or it could be from last week, but it has to have an emotional charge to it. So memories where you felt angry or shame or guilt or sadness or frustration when someone said something negative to you maybe. These memories have shaped your thoughts and feelings about yourself and about your weight, and it's time to declutter that now through the practice of forgiveness. I recommend getting a pen and a piece of paper. And it might be a time when maybe your mum made a flippant comment to you. She said you had chunky legs. Or maybe it was when your brother said that you looked really fat in a miniskirt that you were wearing. Or maybe it was a boy from school when you were 16 that said, oof, you put on a bit of weight, Porky. Maybe it was something that happened in childhood when you got picked last for team sports. Maybe it was something that you did that has caused anger and shame. Quitting an exercise class or not carrying out with your gym membership. So feel free to pause me for a bit if you need to. But now that you've written down those memories, have a look at some of the beliefs that have come up as a result of those memories. Maybe that's why I don't think I will ever stick to an exercise routine, or maybe that's why I feel unworthy or unlovable. Now it's time to clear and forgive, and this is the really powerful part. It's time to clear those old memories, those stories, that resentment you have around your weight. We're going to use the old practice. Now, forgive me if I mispronounce this. It's the Ho'oponopono practice. So what I want you to do is go through each of these memories and say the following 4 phrases. I'm sorry, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. So for each memory, look at it, feel the emotion, and then say out loud if you can, I'm sorry, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. And then cross it off your list and go to the next one. Go through each of them, and if you feel like it, this is what I do. I rip it up. I rip that piece of paper up and I chuck it away. This is simple yet very powerful. It's an exercise that you might need to do over and over again, and trust me, I have done this over and over again. And you might feel things come up for you. You might feel totally wiped out as a result. You might feel a little bit of sadness that come up. Or you might feel absolutely nothing, and that's totally fine as well. Whatever happens, this is powerful work. So number 4, how do you feel before you eat food? Are you feeling sad, frustrated, bored, lonely? Or are you eating because you have real hunger? So what I recommend here is keeping a bit of a food journal. And this is not a food journal to write down what you're eating. No, this is a food journal to write down how you're feeling before you eat. So what we want to do is start recognizing some of the triggers that cause you to eat certain food. So it might be that you suddenly have a craving for a chocolate bar. And actually you think about your mood. How am I feeling? You think, gosh, I'm feeling sad. And that sadness has triggered that desire to eat a chocolate bar. Identifying those triggers can really help you. Book recommendation here. If you haven't yet read Atomic Habits by James Clear, I highly recommend it. I've put it in the links below. It's an absolutely fantastic book for creating the right habits to set you up for success. So as always, I have added some links below, some resources for you to have a look at. And if you would like to learn how to improve your health mindset, then you can download my free guide below. It looks like this. It's 5 mindset shifts to break free from dieting and learn to love your body. Check out these videos next for more health and mindset tips. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and please do share it with your friends. Bye for now.